excited to share some great travel destinations with one of our favorites, the Love Boat, Princess Cruises. And just a few weeks ago, Scott, I was in Athens. We had a group traveling, and I looked outside off my veranda and I saw the gorgeous brand new Sun Princess ship.
Wow.
So she's certainly a beauty and new to the fleet. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our professional of the day. We have Scott Moon with us, and I'm going to have you take it away. Let me.
Okay. All right. So here's what I thought I would do. And I know we have some really great groups to refer to here at the very end, but I thought I'd kind of give you a high level overview of Princess. You guys are all way too young to remember a little show called The Love Boat. It's One we definitely play up that experience for sure. Uh, you know, with the history of Princess, the if you didn't know, I guess I should say this. If you didn't know, the Love Boat was filmed on board our ships at the time, and so it kind of brought cruising into the mainstream, if you will, for vacationing and for everybody, for all cruise lines. And we definitely still play that up with that history, including our, I don't know, Kendall, if you heard the horns blare on the Sun Princess, which will play the theme of the Love Boat on
Yes,
occasion.
very
Y-
cool.
Yikes. I don't know. I mean, I have mixed feelings about that, but it's fun to hear. And also on board, you can watch 24-hour Love Boat channel. So you're welcome for that, for sure. But no, but we definitely play it up with Princess for sure. The theme is with us is always about love because of the Love Boat history. So we're always talking about every marketing thing that comes out with us, or commercials, whatever, which I have an example of in a second if I can play it. um, we'll talk about the Love Boat theme, and the things you love on board, or love about cruising in general. Like if you love beaches, of course, who doesn't? If you love Alaska, if you love food, if you love entertainment, we have a little something for everybody, and so that's kind of what who we appeal to. Um, on board our Princess Cruises, you can also have a traditional cruise experience. You can have your early or late dining if you want to do that. You can have anytime dining if you want to do that. You can have set reservations if you want to. So, and you can have the same wait staff if you'd like that, or if you want to change it up, which you probably will because we have multiple restaurants on board. You can do that too. So we try to make sure that we have a little something for everybody. We go to over 300 plus destinations worldwide, so some more than others. Including, I'll talk a lot about Alaska here in a second. So hopefully that's something that appeals to you. But we go to many other places worldwide. You have it's not great service on board. I've always felt our crew is trained very well, and you have great service. But we also have added a new um, aspect to our service with the Princess Medallion, and I'll talk about that at the very end. And then I also wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of something that we offer: different pricing structures. You can have a la carte option, but we have a drink gratuity Wi-Fi packages that you can add, which are really great values, and I'll talk about that too. So I'm going to show this. Tell me if this doesn't work. I don't usually show videos, but sometimes it's kind of nice to get it started. If it hangs up, we'll stop it. Can everybody see it?
Yeah, you can see it. There's just no audio.
No audio? Bummer.
We're expecting the
I can sing it for you. It's a Love Boat thing. Yeah, I don't know. Videos are sometimes on Zoom do not play for some reason, and I don't understand that. But I'm glad I didn't. At least you could see it, get the visual. Okay, so what we consider ourselves our destination leader. We go so many places, as I said, over 300 plus destinations worldwide. So if what we talk about specifically doesn't appeal to you, hopefully some of these other destinations would. But we are based on the West Coast, California. So we have a lot of sailings in that part of the world. For example, the California coastal sailings going up and down the coast, repositioning sailings, round trip sailings from Los Angeles or San Francisco. Great for if you're a wine person going to the wine country. I love those itineraries for that reason. A lot of the excursions go into the beautiful Napa Valley and other wine areas of California. We do round trip sailings to Hawaii. So our sailings leave from Los Angeles to San Francisco, go all the way to Hawaii and back. So there's lots of days at sea, 4 or 5, depending on the destination, the date. But they go to the 4 main Hawaiian islands too, so you get to experience, and some of them stay later, like in Honolulu, for example. The itineraries are a little later, so you can experience some of the nightlife there. The Mexican Riviera is kind of where we started with the Love Boat, the whole Love Boat theme. And as a matter of fact, fun fact, Princess Cruises created the term Mexican Riviera. And so we do a lot of itineraries from Los Angeles and from San Francisco, round trips, and some longer itineraries from there into the Mexican Riviera as well. We do Panama Canal, and Panama Canal from the West Coast, Los Angeles, all the way to Fort Lauderdale, what we call it ocean to ocean Panama Canal sailing. And we do that from both new and old sets of locks, so you get to experience those. But you can also do a round trip if you don't have that kind of time. Usually those are 15 or 16 days. But if you don't have that kind of time, we have a shorter option for you, round trip from Fort Lauderdale, that go into the locks, turn around in the lake, Platoon, turn back, go back through the set of locks again. So you can at least experience it. And, and also go to the course, not just that, you're going to Western Caribbean or Southern Caribbean, depending upon the date. Then we have our Canada, New England sailings. Those are very short season, fall foliage-esque, but also more historical sailings. You really get to experience a lot of the history of the original colonies, and a lot of those excursions kind of relate to that. Those are from New York and from Boston. We started doing from Boston, actually, which are very, very popular. That a few of them actually go to Greenland from Boston, so very unique. And then, of course, we do the Caribbean. Caribbean for us is out mostly year-round out of Fort Lauderdale, Eastern, Western, Southern, including our newest ships in the wintertime. Our newest ships, like the Sun Princess that Kendall was referring to, and our largest and newest ships will sail from there in the wintertime. And then, but we also sail from Port Canaveral. If you have to get your Disney on, we can go. You can actually do an before or after from Port Canaveral, as well as near and dear to my heart, Galveston, because we do sail out of Galveston now, not year round, but from roughly end of October through end of March. That's usually the season, and this will be our 3rd season coming up with the Regal Princess. Also, we sail Europe is another great itinerary for us. Mediterranean, we have 4 ships in the Mediterranean during the season here, and our season goes pretty long, including the Sun Princess being there, which is our newest ship, and then her sister ship will come out next year. We'll stay there as well. But we have early or late season Mediterranean. We also offer Baltics and some sailings from Southampton. We do longer sailings into Iceland and Greenland and British Isles as well, that really circumnavigate the entire British Isles, for example. We also offer land tours too, just as a reminder, like an Ireland tour, for example, pre or post cruise. But why I mentioned the land tours was I always like to bring this up too, is we sail all these great places worldwide, but it's a shame to go all the way to South America and do one of these beautiful 14 or 16-day sailings. Some of them include Antarctica, by the way, but not, have on your bucket list Machu Picchu or Iguazu Falls. And we offer that as a land tour as well, that you can actually be with us the entire time. We offer some longer itineraries. I didn't think I mentioned at the first. In my opinion, our cruise ships, are medium sized by today's standards, I guess. So there are 2,200 passengers on the small side to our largest ship, which is 4,300 passengers. And so we do sailings as short as 3 or 4 days on occasion. Most of our sailings are 7 to 10 days, but we also offer some very lengthy sailings, including our World Cruise, which is 116 days. So I expect each and every one of you to purchase one of those before you leave here, the 116-day sailing. We have great Wi-Fi on board. It's fine. You can work from there if you need to. But also we do some sailings from Southeast Asia, Singapore, Japan is becoming a very popular itinerary for us, or destination, which many itineraries from Japan as well. We do some some South Pacific. Most of those are repositioning though to get to Australia. And we also offer some great sailings, many options. We have 3 ships in this in the during our winter time, their summertime in Australia, doing various itineraries, including land tours into the outback, going to Uluru, which is Ayers Rock, or the Great Barrier Reef. So again, we don't want you to miss out on these great places and being able to see all the things you can see that you cannot see from a cruise ship. But speaking of land tours and speaking of cruise ships and places to go, which are made perfect, cruising is made perfect for, is Alaska. I'm not sure if anybody's been to Alaska, but it's one of the most amazing places you'll see. We're very lucky. We send, of our 16 ship fleet, we have 7 ships up there right now in Alaska. It's just the start of our Alaska season. So that tells you how important it is for us as a company and as as popular it is as a destination. We've been very lucky enough to be ranked for 20 straight years as the best cruise line in Alaska, and that's by the travel advisors like Kendall, and her team, who've nominated us year over year as one of the best cruise lines or the best cruise line in Alaska. I won't show this video because you can't hear the sound. Well, no, I'm gonna show it. It's just whistling, but you can see the views. It's very short.
From the summer, I want to go across the trees to say my God.
Yeah, so people go to Alaska to see glaciers, see the beautiful views, see the mountains, hopefully see Denali, and the wildlife. And with us, you're gonna have all those options. We have so many different options to choose from, including our most popular sailing, which is really just the inside passage sailing, the round trips from Seattle. We do it from San Francisco, and we also do it occasionally from Los Angeles and from Vancouver too. Or we do the one-way sailings, which we call the Voyage of the Glacier sailings, because you always have two chances to see glaciers. You see, Glacier Bay National Park is always one of them on this particular sailing, which I recommend it highly. Or either Hubbard Glacier or College Fjord. So 2 chances to see glaciers. And then that's the one you can do the cruise only, or you can add the cruise tour onto, which we have groups that we can offer for you as well. So basically, the idea is the cruise tour includes inland into to Alaska, and you're able to see, go 500 miles into the state itself and go to Denali, and we have lodges that you can stay in. The train is always included, and so it's one of the most popular things about the cruise tour, the train portion of it, where you ride in our glass dome car. There's top levels, seating and for views. You go down to the first level, and you can sit down there too, but mostly it's for dining as an option. There's a full bar there. There's commentary. Someone's kind of guiding you, telling you what you're seeing and looking at, and the train will slow down and you get to see, if you see wildlife, for example, or slow down for over bridges to see beautiful views. So it's just a great experience overall, and it's included in all the cruise tour. When you stay with us, though, you're staying at one of our Princess Lodges. So you're staying with us the entire time, not only on the motor coaches, but the train cars themselves, but also the lodges too. And so we have these 5 lodges one of them is right outside the front gates of Denali. One is on the other side of the park, on the south side of the park. And then for longer cruise tours, we offer these outlying areas like Copper River, Kenai, and Fairbanks. We have a lodge in Fairbanks as well. A lot of our tours start and end at. Gives you an idea, perspective of where we are in the green as our lodges, and the park itself, which is probably not to scale, but it's anyway. We have options for some of our outlying lodges stay at or near some of the other national parks as well, like Kenai National Park, for example, or Copper River area, the Wrangell St. Elias. But from there, just like we went on a cruise, you can just relax, do nothing, just enjoy the experience. There's always things to do around the lodges themselves. or you can do excursions from the lodge if that's what you want to do too. So you kind of treat that just like as a cruise on land, if you will. There's all kinds of things to do if you just want to relax around the lodge themselves, do a nature walk, experience one of the restaurants. There's fire pits. It's just so great. They're always on these rivers, on these beautiful views on these on rivers. So it's kind of a nice little area to really enjoy nature. But here's a few things that that we can do on board the ships. For example, we want you to experience Alaska not only when you're in Alaska, but as you're sailing to Alaska. So we offer, not only the food, which is amazing, and we have Alaska cuisine offered at our restaurants, but also in Glacier Bay, as I mentioned, the national park rangers will come on board and act as tour guides and kind of tell you what you're looking at and viewing. And history of the park and talk about the glaciers. We'll also experience the local wildlife, the domesticated wildlife as far as puppies. In all of our ships, we have this area called the Piazza, and the Piazza is usually 3 stories tall. It's a hub of activity upon the ship. All these things are happening throughout. And one of the things we do in Alaska, in Skagway, is one of our ports of call. We bring on the puppies, the sled dog puppies that are being trained to run the Iditarod. And so it helps them interact, get socialized, and it helps us because, they're puppies. We get to hang out with little puppies on board too. So it's a great experience. Another thing we do also involving some of the local puppy dogs, but Libby Riddles is the very first female winner of the Iditarod. She won in the mid-'80s, but she's kind of acts as a spokesperson for not only Princess, but Alaska. And she comes on board, brings her dogs, talks about her experiences of the Iditarod, and also just in general, life in Alaska, what it's like living up there, growing up there. And she's a very interesting person. She does presentations, but also kind of walks around the decks and is seen around the ship throughout in Juneau. This is in Juneau, actually, in one of our ports on Juneau. And then again, in the Piazza area or excursions or whatever, everything's Alaska themed. So there could be anything going on at any one time with folk singers or other excursions that we offer into Alaska. If you're a fisher person, we brought this back. I mentioned this because we brought this back after the hiatus. And if it's something called Cook My Catch. So there's a lot of our excursions involve fishing. And if you catch something, you can bring it back to the ship and the chef will prepare it for you. So that's kind of a unique thing we offer at no additional cost. So we do that. And then also, if you are traveling with the family, we offer programs created by Discovery Channel and Animal Planet that kind of create these events, these learning activities for all ages. So the families can participate, but the kids become junior rangers, park rangers, as we visit National Glacier Bay, for example. And so they really, really enjoy it, and they learn something while they're on board too. Again, not only that, but the excursions that we offer into Alaska, there's so numerous. There's so many that many of them are given the Discovery Channel and Animal Planet, stamp of approval. So you can find some of those, and they've created some really unique things for us. So that's a little overview of Alaska. And then I also want to mention a few other itineraries that we do and things offered on board. For example, this is, again, near and dear to my heart, being in Texas, we are selling from Galveston. Again, not year round, from late October 27th is when the ship comes back this year, and doing a combination of mostly 7 days. We are kind of mixing it up this season. 6 days, we do 6 days, we do 8 days. We have 2 longer itineraries with a 10 and 11 day. But these are always include the Western Caribbean, for example, for the most part, and going to like Costa Maya or Belize. We flip-flop those. Roatan, which is Mahogany Bay, is where we dock there in Honduras, which is absolutely gorgeous. I was kind of blown away when I went there for the first time last year, and really cool, nice either beach day or if you want to see sloths, which I love to go and see the sloth sanctuary. You can do that from there. So it's a lot of really cool things to do. And of course, Cozumel. is another protocol there. But again, these are offered very short season, but it's such an easy drive. We sail mostly on Sundays, but the only exception this season is going to be a little different because we are sailing on the shorter itineraries for 6 and 8 days. Also, Kendall mentioned she saw this particular ship. This is our brand new ship. I have a video, but I don't want to hang it up, so and it obviously doesn't show, or you don't hear the sound as much as, or if on this particular presentation. But Sun Princess, our largest ship today, which is 4,300 passengers. Really cool, very unique for us. This is the Piazza area, as I mentioned. It's on all ships. This is obviously a little wider and more spherical than the other ones that we offer. But this is where the captain makes his or her announcements or presentations, or if there's a New Year's Eve sailing, for example, this is where the champagne toasts are going to happen. There's always something going on in the Piazza area. This is the dome area, another entertainment area of the ship, which is kind of a temperature controlled daytime, relaxing area. And there's a indoor outdoor pool. In the evening time, there's more of it's another entertainment venue where there's kind of a Cirque du Soleil type entertainment going on. So that's something unique, and you see the picture there of the dome as well. And we're also offering unique restaurants. Most of Princess Cruises has similar restaurants on all of our ships, but this particular ship has a few new ones that we're going to kind of revert back to some of our older ships, like the Irish pub O'Malley's, which is we're going to put that on some of our not quite as new ships, for example. But these are usually specialty restaurants that are a little that are reservation recommended and cost additional. This ship will be in the Med, or she's in the Med right now, and she'll eventually sail over in September to the Fort Lauderdale and do the Eastern and Western Caribbean from Fort Lauderdale, and then sail back over next season. And then her sister ship, the Star Princess, she comes out in October of 2025, and have a very short Mediterranean season, then sail over and do the Fort Lauderdale sailings from the Caribbean from there. So I alluded to earlier, there's different pricing structures with us, and I just want to show you a couple of what we offer as far as how we set it up. There's the a la carte sailing, as I mentioned. That's just the cruise price. I mean, you're paying for your drinks, your gratuities, your Wi-Fi on separately, which is perfectly okay. But for better value, what we've done is we package these together. And so with additional cost of $60 per person per day, you can have what we call Princess Plus. Princess Plus includes all your drinks, alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks, your Wi-Fi, which comes in very, very handy, and your gratuities. I can tell you, if you did it a la carte, Wi-Fi and gratuities equal $40 per person per day. So if you figure out you can drink $20 per day of something, you're going to get your money's worth with this particular package. And that's, again, that's alcohol. But if you don't drink alcohol, bottled waters, mocktails, coffees, milkshakes, which are awesome. All kinds of things are included, in soft drinks. So that's all included in the beverage package, and it's unlimited. So highly recommended that you look at this as an option. It also includes other things as well, like casual dining. What that is we have certain restaurants, there are additional costs. And so we have our specialty restaurants, which are usually about $39 per person per day. Or we have casual dining. Casual dining would, if you did it a la carte, would be at $15, but we have 2 of those included in the Princess Plus package. So that's like Alfredo's, which are a pizza joint or a sushi restaurant on board. Believe me, there's plenty of things to eat. They're included in the cruise price. Different restaurants as well, but we just offer a few different options for folks. And that includes fitness classes and specialty desserts, which are insanely gaudy, but they're amazing. So it includes a lot of different things. So that's what I wanted to make sure you knew about Princess Plus, but also Princess Premier is one step up. Again, it's a little bit more, $80 per person per day. It includes your drinks, gratuities, and your Wi-Fi, but includes unlimited casual dining at those restaurants. It includes 2 specialty dining options for guests. So that's already a great value right there. Includes a photo package, reserved seating and theater, and so much more. So again, you can look at all options, and I can make sure that Kendall and her team have everything they need to be able to show you guys. But it's such a great value. I shouldn't have thrown this in there, but it gives you an idea, because no one, this kind of, it's a messy slide, but basically talks about the value of the drink package if you didn't drink alcohol, because that's often the question I get. Well, I don't really drink that much. It's not that big a deal for me to do the plus or premier. But if you drink, you know, I wouldn't drink all one of these. That's crazy. But I might drink 4 bottled waters for sure in a day, or an energy drink, or definitely some coffees. So it adds up. So again, just kind of showing you the value of the package itself. There's one other thing I want to kind of cover with you guys. We offer on board, if you've cruised before, and hopefully you have, you get like a cabin, a way to open up your cabin door, a cruise card usually, or something of like that, to where you have to open your cabin door, use to spend money on board. Well, we have something called the medallion. It's not a medallion. It says medallion class, but it's basically everybody gets the medallion, and it's something that you wear on you. If you've ever been to Disney, the Magic Band was the people who created this for us. But anyhow, basically it opens your cabin door, and it serves as your money on board. You buy things with it on board, but it does a heck of a lot more if you want to take advantage of that. I'm not going to show the video because you can't hear it, but basically it'll talk about, here's some of the things that you can do with it. Again, if you do, there's an app to download. You don't have to do it. You don't have to take advantage of this if you want to, but if the more you use it, the more you'll I feel like you'll get better service with it, or you'll appreciate it. So you're able to board the ship faster. The idea is the medallion is shipped to you prior to sailing, about 7 to 10 days prior to sailing, or you can pick it up at the port itself. No big deal either way. And it opens up your cabin door. You see it as you walk up to your cabin door, it unlocks it. So you can kind of, you see the young lady in the far right corner with her, margaritas / coffee in her hand. So she's unlocking the cabin door and opening it without having to set things down, which comes in handy sometimes. There's a way to communicate with the crew on board with it as a chat feature if you want to do that. There's also in your room, you can use your TV, or it's a touchscreen TV that you can actually utilize all these things as well. There's games you can play on board, just pass the time. You can, it's the really fast Wi-Fi. Ocean Now is a really cool feature in that we'll have things delivered to you, either with using that phone or app itself, or flagging down a crew member. They have these tablets. There's kind of a GPS component to this medallion, so so they know, let's say I walk up to the bar, for example, my face and name will pop up. And so they can address me by name. If you're poolside, the same thing. It'll address you, but you can address them by name, and you can order things through the crew person, or using the app itself. You can also, if you're traveling with groups or family members, you can know where they are basically on the ship by using the app itself, or the feature in the TV on your TV screen. So you can kind of know where everybody is on board, which is kind of a safety feature in a way, especially if you're traveling with families. But also, ships are kind of confusing, kind of big. It takes me a full week to figure out on any ships, and I've been on them tons of times, to kind of figure out where everything is and get the lay of the land, so to speak. So it's kind of a neat, unique feature, and I really enjoy it. So that's kind of a high level overview of Princess, some of the things we offer on board. Hopefully I talked a little bit about some of the itineraries you may be interested in, but I can certainly take some Q&A, and talk specifically about certain itineraries if you like to as well.
Well, thank you, Scott. And so if anyone does have a question, just feel free to go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can ask Scott your question. I do have a question for you while we're letting folks think about things.
Sure.
One question I get a lot, Scott, is why should we go on Princess to Alaska versus, let's say, one of your competitors? So give us your quick spiel on that.
Sure. Well, I think mainly because we've done it for longer than anybody. Us, and we have our sister company, Holland America. I've been up there since 1965, I believe. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have 7 ships up there doing many different itineraries. So we want to make sure all aspects of your Alaskan vacation are covered. You can leave from San Francisco. You can do a 16-day long sailing. You can do a 7-day really quick turnaround from Seattle. So again, it's more of the options that we offer. And then when you go out and talk about Glacier Bay, and I know I keep referring to that, but Glacier Bay is such a special place. Any glacier you see is going to be beautiful from a ship, specifically watching the glaciers calve and hearing the sound eventually come to you, because takes a while to get to the ship. It's just such an amazing experience. But Glacier Bay being a national park, having the park rangers come on board and really kind of act as your tour guide in the park itself. It's so amazing. So anytime I ever I talk to anybody about Alaska, and there are sailings that we do that don't offer Glacier Bay, but probably 80% of them do. I would say, look, if you can, if it makes sense for your timing, go to Glacier Bay. It's just such a breathtaking experience.
Well, thank you for that. I just want to share, we do have 2 really popular groups that are going to be sailing with Princess, one this year and one next year. The travel for this year is going to be our New Year's Eve cruise, and that will be leaving out of Galveston. I think this is our 3rd year to do a Princess New Year's Eve cruise from Galveston. It's so much fun. Everybody comes back. They just say how great it was to ring in the new year with friends, not have to worry about driving anywhere. You
Yes.
have the comfort of your gorgeous ship. And so that is going to be on December the 29th of this year. Again, I said we have a great group that's already signed up for that, but we do still have space. And then another popular sailing we have is our August 18th of next summer. That is going to be our Alaska cruise tour. And this is a top-notch cruise tour. It is the connoisseur level of land. And Scott, maybe you can speak to that just briefly.
Sure. So we have so many different options, probably 30 plus different options of cruise tours, and the Connoisseur is the best of the best. And what that means is you're fully escorted. You're always with Princess the entire time, and as I mentioned earlier, in your motor coaches or on the train itself. But with the Connoisseur package, you really get more included. Most of your meals are included. Also, having somebody with you the entire time, an escort, to do the little things that you don't normally think of, like making reservations ahead of time for restaurants as you get to the different lodges, or kind of giving you behind the scenes, because these folks are local to Alaska that are on board with us. So they give you the behind the scenes of any tour that we offer. I've never heard of anybody going to using the Connoisseur version of our cruise tours that's come back disappointed. They all rave about it. So yeah, this is the best of the best in my personal opinion. And as I'm looking at your group, you get to stay at my 2 favorite lodges, which I've only been to 3, so I shouldn't say that. But 2 of my favorite lodges of all those would be in Denali National Park, which is our largest lodge in Alaska, right outside the front gates. And you'll be able to do tours into Denali, which is, and fingers crossed, we see the mountain. If not, you can take an excursion to see it as well. That's another option. And also Mount McKinley on the other side of the park. So we give you another vantage point to be able to take advantage of the park and also see the beautiful views of Denali.
Yes. So Scott recommended this. We thought it was a win. We've had so many people that are interested and have already started booking. We have just requested additional space, and Scott was so amazing. He got us extra space so that we can continue to invite more people to join that Alaska experience. It's going to be fantastic. So that one is, again, August 18th of next year. And then the previous trip is our New Year's Eve for 2024. So lots of exciting things. We continue to look forward to more great destinations with Princess. And again, thank you, Scott, so much for today. We do have a special for all of you that tuned in. If you decide you would like to book either of those groups or something else that you're considering, you have 1 week to earn an additional onboard credit. And all you have to do is give us a call or email us and let us know that I love Princess, and we'll know that you tuned in today, and you'll be able to add yourself an additional onboard credit that you can utilize towards excursions or any other onboard purchases that you would love. I'd be glad to send you either of those flyers. Just let us know that you're interested. We can send you the details and get something placed on hold for you right away. And again, thank you so much, Scott, for joining us. And thank you to everyone. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to assisting you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you.